Welcome back to the TikTok show. I am your host, Ryan Heelan, and I could not be more excited about today's guest. She has been all over TikTok, blessing the New York City subways with her phenomenal singing voice. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. She's a future Grammy Award winning artist. Please welcome to the show, Nahscha. Nahscha, thank you for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So let's start with the basics. How long have you been singing?
My whole life, I've been singing ever since I was a kid. My whole life,
Gotcha.
I've been singing ever since I was a kid.
Right. Now, when you were younger, did you sing in a church choir or do school talent shows, or were you just locked in your room giving yourself your own private concert?
Actually, when I was younger, I was religious. I'm Jewish, so I grew up very religious. So I was never in any type of choir. It was just kind of something I did to I would just sing to myself. But then once I started going to public school and I wasn't religious anymore, that's when I started dipping my toes and performing publicly. And that my first time was when I was around 12. So then from there I was talent shows, choir, literally anything and everything.
Right. Now, when did you realize this was something you wanted to take from a hobby to you want to pursue this full time?
I feel like I just always knew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just something I always knew I wanted to do, my whole life. I just want to sing.
Yeah. See, that's how I know you're going to be a star. It's in your DNA. It's in your DNA. Now,
it shows me,
Exactly. Now, TikTok is such a funny app. The way, I don't know, it's insane how people can go viral on it. But what's the past couple months been like for you going viral?
It's been crazy, I guess. It's just been very interesting. I hadn't been out into the subways in about 8 months because of the pandemic.
Right.
And I always was posting on TikTok before, but the second I went back out there and started posting the videos, I noticed that they were starting to gain traction. And I was like, okay, I think I'm kind of onto something here. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep posting these videos, which I used to post my busking videos, but I just think that now with the times and everything, maybe.
Yeah, no, I think it's you kind of saved people. People needed to see community, and it's been so long since we've seen somebody be able to bring people together. So what you did was actually it was really cool to see.
I always say I'm there to bring good energy, good vibes, and to remind people that we're all still living. If you wake up and you're alive, you're living. Mm-hmm. And so many times I'll be down there and someone tells me this is so refreshing. I haven't heard live music or even someone singing in front of me in months, in a year. And music is our language. It's healing. It's universal. We need it. We need to know. We need to communicate that we're all here.
Yeah. No, I love that. And so, I'm sure everyone knows New York City is just full of the nicest, kindest people that, walk on the planet. But what is it like, going down in the subways and hearing strangers just kind of sing with you and dance to your music? What's that experience like?
I love it. There's honestly nothing like it. It's super humbling for me, and it feeds my soul, my energy, just as much as people tell me I'm giving them good energy or I'm helping them. It's mutual. It makes me feel good. I love to be able to make any type of connection with someone, especially with music, because that's the best way I know how to do it. So it's amazing. You see people from all walks of life, whether they're homeless, old, young, it doesn't matter. They're vibing or they're feeling something, and it's.
Yeah, I think music is one of the most universal languages. Like you said, everybody can connect with a song in a different way or feel a song a certain way. So everybody loves music. I think that's one of the things worldwide people love is music. So, you talked about, going in the subways, the pandemic hit, so you couldn't. What was that like? Was it frustrating, or did you find yourself working on your music more than you even wanted to?
I was really sad not being able to be out there, especially when quarantine first started and it was worldwide. People were just what is going on, and nobody left their house at all. So it was just sad. I was still serving at a restaurant, but I was going out and busking as much as I could and performing. But then I was like, damn, now I can't go out. And I felt really sad. But then I started going back out into the parks in Jersey mid-May. And I started going back out. And then from there, I started getting more restaurant gigs. And then I was just out in Hoboken or by the water, just really putting myself out there in any way I could. And then I finally, after like 8 months, was like, all right, it's time. I have to go back to the subways because it just still didn't feel right. I knew that I had to be there.
I can imagine that's like a very tough, it's a very scary thing to do. And it takes a lot of courage to just go out in the subway and start singing. So what pushed you to go out and be like, putting all the fear, everything aside, this is where I need to be?
I mean, I think so. I had an incident a few years ago. It was about almost 3 years ago where I got robbed. And it kind of changed my whole entire, well, it did change my whole entire life. And it gave me a lot of different perspective. And after that happened to me, I kind of went through the trauma, which I still go through. And I found myself being more scared of life, and then when the pandemic hit, so initially that's kind of what gave me the courage to start and to really go crazy, because I moved away, then I moved back, and I was like, all right, music, boom, I'm putting myself out there. But then when the pandemic hit, I felt myself kind of going back into that like place where I was like getting afraid again. And I didn't know if I'd be able to like go back out and do this or that. And because of what had happened to me, I was like, I can't mentally go to this place. So it gave me that extra push to be like, you have to go out there, and you have to, like I said, you have to communicate with people that we are here, and that, fear is not the way to go.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. And I think so many people, I'm sure, are so glad you did that, because I've, seen your videos, and people just, they really do enjoy seeing your stuff. And like, not only in the subways, but on TikTok as well. People really vibe with like what you're doing. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's really awesome to see that too. I always just say I'm very happy that it can have that effect. Like, that's the main goal.
So what is the reaction of your friends and family been like when you decided to pursue music full time? Was it like all support?
I mean, pretty much. I've just been doing this for so long, and singing has always been such a big part of me that I don't think anyone has ever been surprised that I'm still doing it, or that I won't give up on it. So no one really, everyone I have around me is just very supportive.
Well, that's good. That's good, because the people around you impact you the most.
Good vibes only, good energy only. If you don't support me, that's fine, but you won't be around me.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't have to like me, but you just won't see me either. Yeah.
Same way. Some people don't always like me either, as much as the energy can be good. I'm sure you've seen the videos of people telling me, "Boo, you suck."
But that's just New York City being New York City. But yeah,
exactly.
I know. Yeah.
People are always gonna be people.
Exactly. Now, you have this incredible song out called "The Lottery," and listening to it, it's so good. But what inspired you to write that? It sounds like there's a lot of an experience that made you write that, or did you just kind of feel the music one night and you just wrote it?
It's a little bit of both. I think that when I wrote The Lottery, I was just in a headspace. It's like people were not living up to expectations, or were just kind of disappointing me. And I felt kind of very, I don't know, I just felt a little sad.
It's one of those feelings that everybody has, but you can't put your finger on it, right?
Like when you just look outside and it's such a beautiful day and things are so great, but you still feel bad.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't know why, or you're like, so it was just kind of came from that emotion. And then the line, "I thought I won the lottery when you spoke to me," came to my head. And then, it's just, sometimes when you lay down, you go to sleep that night, everything hits you at once, because you're not like, you don't have as many distractions. And you're just with your own thoughts. So it's like these feelings become worse.
Yeah, I think everybody everybody has experienced that. I promise. The late at night, you just want to go to bed, but you can't, because you have 1,000 thoughts going through your mind. But now, you have a song coming out like next week, right, or in the next couple weeks?
On the 8th, yeah.
April 8th, yeah. What can you tell us about that? What's it? Anything?
So Solfred, I'm super excited about. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a good nervous.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to be nervous. So Solfred, I wrote like 2 years ago or so, and the inspiration came from thinking about my Zadie's, which means grandfathers, and their names were Zadie Saul and Zadie Fred. So when I named it, I put Solfred together. It's very like pop soul.
Hmm.
I think it kind of has, well, I believe it has a very spacey vibe to it. Just kind of will make you think or kind of space out, make you like want to dance. It can make you maybe want to cry.
Right.
But Solfred also means beautiful like the sun, loved by the sun.
Okay,
I
cool.
looked it up, found that definition. So it just, that's
Yeah.
Solfred, yeah.
So it's one of those songs that you're dancing to one minute and the next minute you're sobbing, crying in your bed too, right?
I think so. I think you could, it just depends how you relate to it.
Right.
But I think we all have, because Solfred kind of to me is talking about maybe not having enough time with
Mhm.
someone or not realizing what you're missing when you don't have it anymore.
Right.
So I feel like we can all relate to that, and whether it's a different type of person you related to, I just think that at the end of the day,
Well, I mean, just by the title of it and how you came up with it, I can already tell it's going to be a beautiful song.
no matter what, it's such an important song to me that
For sure. Yeah, and I'm sure your grandparents are going to be very proud. Yeah. Now, what are your plans for the next year or the next? It's hard to say in the next 5 years, especially after the last year we've all experienced. But what are your plans for the next year with your music?
I plan to just continuously make
Mhm.
music, record. I have a lot of music in my vault that I've
Oh,
never
cool.
shared or put out. I've been yeah, I have a lot. So I'm kind of just very day by day, but every day I'm consistently putting something together. So whether I'm out busking or I'm doing my shows or I'm going to release Solfred. I plan to release another single, and then my plan, which again, not everything goes according to plan, but I want to do a project after that, so it's little by little, but I plan to just keep releasing my music, keep going out into the subways as much as I can, and just keep posting good vibes
Yeah.
like every day. And that's it. Just keep singing. That's really just going to keep singing and doing what I do.
Now, what is your advice for people who want to do what you do, either go out in New York and sing or just kind of pursue the passion of music and that career? What is your advice to you seem like a very wise person. So what is your advice to the young singers that are behind you?
My advice is to remember that at the end of the day, it's all about connection,
Hmm.
and that's really the most important part. So one, connecting with people. Two, don't listen to people. There's opinions like stop you or make you feel like, oh, I can't do it. If you consistently put work into something every day,
Hmm.
you're bound to do something with it.
Right.
It's just you gotta like build it. So that's really my main advice is just
Yeah.
work at it every day. Don't listen to the opinions of others. Do what feels right and connect with people, with real people, don't rely on like
The
only like social media, let's say. Like
Yeah, no, I love that. I try to tell people, if you're doing something, like when you chase your passion and your dreams and you feel like the frustration and you feel like all those emotions, that usually means you're on the right path. So you can't stop when things get hard or you feel like you're not doing what you think you should be doing. That's usually when you're in the middle of what you should be doing. So yeah, I agree with you.
I love that. It's true because trust me, it's like we all feel that. I still feel that. Some days I'm just like, the harder you work for it, the better it's gonna feel.
Yeah. Now, well, Nahscha, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you've gained a new fan, so I'm really looking forward to all the stuff you have coming out. Guys, make sure you go stream The Lottery on Apple Music, on Spotify. Go look at the music video on YouTube. It's amazing. And be on the lookout for her new single coming out April 8th. And go follow her on all her social medias. You will be doing yourself a huge favor. And make sure you follow me for more great interviews. Thank you so much for watching.